Hi there, Flat Cap Chef here, and today I'm going to show you how to make fancily called melanzana parmigiana, which is basically an aubergine. So this time I say aubergine, but aubergine with tomato, garlic, mozzarella, and parmesan. So it's really easy to make, and it's absolutely delicious. So what have we got? We have one aubergine. There you go. I have got some garlic, I've got some tomatoes I'm going to use to make a tomato sauce, I've got some basil, I haven't got fresh basil so I've got dried basil, I've got mozzarella cheese and I've got parmesan cheese, I've got some olive oil, and I've got some pepper, and it's as simple as that. I've got my oven's on at 180 gas mark 4, so it's preheated, so simple. Take off this bit at the end, don't really want that, thank you very much. And then chop it in half, so bridge across, there we are. Now, I've got a sharp point on my knife, and all I'm going to do is just create like a diamond pattern. So I'm going to cut in and go in without coming through the other side, hopefully. There we go. Simple diamond pattern. So you can see he's got these diamond cuts in. Do the same the other way. And what I find is if you use the end of this piece to come across, and then the end of that cut there, you get a nice even diamond pattern. And basically I'm just digging in far enough to cut through but not come through the skin. Do the same on this one. So just try and do it so you can see what's going on. So it's a bit deeper there. It's like a sawing action. It's really just to open it up a little bit. Same with this one. Cross, 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 across. Right, I've got olive oil here. I'm giving it a good old glug of olive oil. There we are. And then I'm just going to rub that in. That's it. Same with this one. There we go. Quick wipe of the cloth. Then I need my oven tray. Pop them on there. This is going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes at 180 gas mark 4. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so while that's in the oven, I'm just going to get my tomatoes. I've got a pan here. There we go. I'm going to take my tomatoes and simply quarter them. I've done for each half 6 of these kind of little ones. Use a couple of big ones. And basically what we're going to do is create a passata, which is tomato sauce by any other name. You can buy it in a jar, but I just think this is nicer to make it fresh. And it's that little bit healthier for you. So I'm quartering these. Okay. Doesn't take much to do. Bridging in between. Throw it in the pan. And then, because this is going to be passata, I'm actually going to create more of a sauce. So I'm going to use a stick blender. So I've got my garlic here. I've got 3 cloves. I'm not putting salt in this because if you use garlic and a lot more garlic, then you don't need to use salt, so it's healthier for you. Just tap it. Right, and there we are, it's done. And then all I'm going to do is just really roughly chop this, because it's going to go through the blender anyway. 1 in. 2. 3 of those. Grand. I've got my basil. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of basil in there. Some pepper. Good grind of pepper. Anybody who knows me and watches this stuff will know I like a good grind of pepper. Again, that means you don't put salt in it. There we go, which is fine. I'm going to put some water in here. I'm going to put about half a centimetre of water in. You don't want it too full of water, okay, because it needs to be a sauce. So I'm going to pop this on the stove. I'm going to keep it at a medium heat for about 15 minutes until it's all melted down, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I've poured this into the pan now, which is my liquid. 15 minutes. That was my stick blender falling over, but don't worry about that. Right, so here we go. Oops. Let's just move that. Right, I'm just going to use the blender to break this down. There we go. Now with these you will find that you get some bits stuck in it. Switching off at the power before you do this, but then just get the skins of the tomatoes out. Pop the power back on. That's now reduced, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this back into the pan for about 5 minutes. So here's my pan, just so it reduces down a bit more. So we've got a really lovely thick sauce at the end of it, because we're going to use that on our aubergine. We'll be back. Okay, so before my aubergine comes out, I'm going to just prep the mozzarella. It comes in a packet, and that's why I've got a bowl, because you get a lot of liquid in mozzarella, so expect all that. Put that down the sink, give that a quick little mop, there we go, and then out it comes. Just need to open up a little bit more. There's my piece of mozzarella. I'm just going to chop it into slices. There we go. So that is now ready to go once the aubergine comes out. Okay, so they're out, and look how good they look. You can see how, because of that cutting, it's all kind of come up, and I've just used a spoon just to ease away the sides. Now you can scoop all this out. We've tried it here, and we decided actually leaving it in is better because it still gives you a bit more texture. You can, if you want, scoop it out, put it in a bowl, mix it up with the cheese and the tomato sauce. So I've got my mozzarella here. Just going to lay lots of mozzarella on top, give it a full covering on both of them. There we go. Bit indulgent, but hey ho. Lots of mozzarella, and then we've now got our lovely thick passata homemade. I'm going to roll that on top of here. So much better when you make it fresh. Remember, there's no salt involved in this one. Doesn't matter if it runs over the sides. The skin actually acts as like a little vessel for it. There we go. I just tried that, it was delicious. And then Parmesan and grater. And basically you just want to cover this with Parmesan. And you know, if a few bits go on the side, doesn't matter, because what you end up with is like a Parmesan crisp. It's going to go back in the same oven, same heat, 180 for about, I do it for about 6 or 7 minutes until you've got everything has melted. cheese is bubbling. There we go. Proper covering. And if you want to, you can just kind of over here, just create your own little mini twirl, because the twirl is basically just a Parmesan crisp, if you want to call it by another name. It's just a pile of Parmesan that's been in the oven and has melted. There we go. I'll show you my little crisp at the side. We'll see how that goes. So it's back in the oven now, then we'll be back. Okay, so there we are, taken out of the oven, beautifully browned on top. Here's what happens when you create that twirl with a pile of Parmesan cheese. That's all it is basically. And it just melts, so you can kind of just lay that on the side. And that's it. So if you want to see more, then just subscribe, just kind of press the button, and it doesn't cost you anything, just means you get a notification next time I put a video up. So I'll be back soon. Bye bye.